We saw another gorgeous day today. Lots of sunshine, cool morning in the 40s and 50s. Probably not quite as cool tomorrow morning as the humidity has been slowly rising. Dew points were a little bit higher during the day today in the low 50s, 40s and 50s at the moment, but still dry air considering 35% humidity, 82. That is actually now the high for the day. When our climate data came out was only 81. So we were a little bit warmer than average, and highs will stay in the lower 80s over the weekend. The difference this weekend will be the higher humidity. Morning lows 50s in the metro area, but 64 out at lakefront. Lake and Gulf water temperatures are in the low 70s. So if you're near the water, you're going to be a little bit milder. However, north of the lake, we saw 40s once again. Probably not too many widespread 40s. I think a few locations, especially north of the state line or maybe up toward Bogalusa, could be in the 40s tomorrow morning, but most of us will be 50s as we get the day started and starting off the weekend. Low 80s outside for many of us, with humidity values still lower, but it's funny how when you get that dry air, dew points 20s and 30s, you kind of are a little bit more sensitive with those slight increases in the humidity, and that will continue to be the case through the weekend. Now, I would not call it muggy. This is not a muggy air mass for the weekend, just a bit more humid. We'll kind of continue to see that increase in humidity through the week, especially by Wednesday. That'll be a surge of moisture also associated with a cold front. Then the humidity drops, and good news is we will clear out. We do have some storms on the way midweek, but we'll be clearing out by Thursday and Friday, the start of French Quarter Fest, and the weather looks gorgeous through next weekend, and very nice this weekend. Winds light and still favoring a northwesterly direction, but over time tomorrow those winds are now taking on more of a southeasterly wind. That will start the increase in humidity, and that will continue on into the next several days. Big upper low still fairly dominant across most of the eastern half of the nation, and that is including the southeast with our winds off the continental United States. But that is going to change. Thanks. I'm sure the folks up in Northeast are really hoping for this system to go. They've been under overcast skies with that cold rain and snow for the last couple of days. But then we'll be watching a system that will take shape out to our west. We will warm up, turn more humid with an increase in cloud cover for the weekend. A frontal system will be approaching but never move through. We're not expecting a front to pass through the area until we get into late Wednesday. That'll be with a fairly strong system that could bring in a risk of severe weather through the weekend and tomorrow, or to me, through the weekend, and then as we head into early next week, no severe weather. As a matter of fact, not much in the way of rainfall. This is what we're looking at on Monday for our eclipse. Still not looking great, as we're going to have that upper troughing, which brings back the southeasterly flow aloft and actually starts to trigger some storms just to our north Monday, Tuesday. Then we're going to see any storms until on Wednesday as this what we call shortwave trough starts moving toward us. That'll trigger the chance for some storms and then quickly sweeping out, and then beautiful weather is ushered in for the end of next week and right through next weekend. So here's a rough idea of the timing for those storms on Wednesday. Morning looks mostly dry with scattered showers, thunderstorms moving in, especially on the North Shore. And this model, the GFS, is really keeping the stronger storm threat to our north in the afternoon. Still some scattered storms, though, maybe a little bit more of a focus north of the lake during the afternoon and early evening. But as we get later into the evening and night Wednesday, front is moving through, and we'll immediately see improving conditions. However, as of right now, Storm Prediction is placing a slight risk, the likelihood of a slight risk, which is a level 2 threat across all of Louisiana and Mississippi. The way it's shaping up right now, this far out, they usually kind of give a broad brush severe weather threat. I think we're going to start to see, unless the models change, more of a focus a bit farther to our north for that severe weather threat. However, we still could see, with this being a fairly vigorous system, a likelihood of some strong to severe storms during the day on Wednesday. Next couple of days, though, with this weekend, beautiful weather. More clouds, though, so still visibility for our eclipse not looking very promising. About 70% sky coverage, so we'll just hoping that 30% will see some of the sunshine. We'll stay under mostly cloudy skies Tuesday, those storms on Wednesday, with temperatures and humidity dropping by the end of the week.